I really had no idea what to expect of Athens, having never been there. And as I've said earlier in the video about Santorini and Mykonos, I really knew little about Greece, at least in comparison to the rest of Europe, and particularly in comparison to Rome, which seems to me at least an obvious comparison. The history and monuments were going to be obvious, and I knew I'd love those. But I didn't expect to like the city so much. Its streets, cafes, food, and general feel. It was pretty clean, interesting, entertaining, modern, and really comfortable to get around. Even if you weren't obsessed with the history, I think you'd enjoy Athens as a city just on its current merits. The food alone is a winner. But for me, it was always going to be a comparison to Rome, a city I love and a topic I love. One thing that was stuck in my head as we were arriving: Greece, birthplace of democracy, the very foundations of our form of government. The whole Western world, or at least in America, I won't speak for Europe, looks to Greeks as our forefathers in this. And I get it, democracy and all. But again, comparing it to Rome, why do we think of Greece as our foundation when we didn't copy the Greek system? We copied the Roman. We didn't adopt direct democracy. We adopted a republic like Rome. Checks and balances, separation of powers, the Senate, and a second body of elected representatives, not direct governance. These were all Roman and specifically not Greek. The only person I could really talk to about it while we were there was Sylvia, our guide. But she's a PhD in ancient Greece, not modern American political contradictions. So I never really got an answer. I'm not sure there is one. But she was a great guide, so entertaining and full of love for the history. It's funny because the Romans were obsessed with the Greeks, and she's Italian and studying ancient Greece. They're apparently still obsessed with the Greeks. I thought it was particularly poignant to have an Italian guide to Greece, but I love their admiration for everything Greek. You see it in their gods, their myths, their architecture, their education, art, and literature. A republic and then empire as powerful as Rome was absolutely starstruck by the accomplishments of the Greeks. And seeing Sylvia take us around and delight in every story and emphasize every accomplishment was, to me at least, a perfect little historical deja vu that just added charm to the whole experience. Going back and forth between seeing amazing sights and enjoying incredible food makes Athens an unforgettable location. But for me, I think the highlight was spending time in the National Archaeological Museum. I mean, if any country can put together impressive archaeological finds, it's the Greeks. The whole museum is a greatest hits parade of marble sculpture, bronze works, craftsmanship, and artwork going back 4,000 years. There's something wrong with you if you don't look at the world we live in today and find yourself amazed by the things we've accomplished, the things we've discovered, refined, and perfected, by the things we've learned and pieced together about the world we live in and the history of the world long since lost. But at the very same time, I don't think it's a contradiction to look back at the ancient past and be astounded by the skill, craftsmanship, and intelligence that they possessed so long ago. I honestly don't know which is more impressive: how capable they were or how capable we are now. But every once in a while, something comes along that breaks everything we think we know. And that opens up a whole new world of possibilities. I actually got to see in person for the first time one of the most fascinating pieces of this broken puzzle: the Antikythera mechanism. It's a more than 2,000-year-old computer that shouldn't exist. It upends everything we thought we knew about the capabilities of the ancient world. Essentially, it's a highly precise and wildly complicated mechanism that plots astronomical events in the past and in the future. The positions of the sun, moon, and planets, the phases of the moon, solar and lunar eclipses. It included metonic and saronic and calyptic cycles. It was able to plot the irregular orbit of the moon with epicyclic gearing. The gear work and precision alone are astounding. But the packaging of all these things in a user-friendly, easy-to-use device to plot out all these things just defies everything we thought we knew about their abilities, as impressive as we already thought they were. It's just amazing, and I can't believe I finally got to see some of the pieces of it in person. Speaking of accomplishments, in the Santorini video, I'd mentioned how impressed I was with the Cycladic and Mycenaean art and technology. Just look at the artwork on this dagger, this bull, the gold mask of Agamemnon, and this wall painting, all from the 16th century BC, 3,600 years ago, and all from Agamemnon's fortress, the Acropolis of Mycenae. So let's go there. This is the famous Lion's Gate entrance to the citadel of Mycenae, which was King Agamemnon's home. Well, as far as we know, when you get back this far in history, 3,600 years, things get a little fuzzy. But it's more than just Homer's Iliad that links him with this place. There's a lot of archaeological evidence as well, but as I said earlier, when you're 3,600 years back, everything is a little open to interpretation as to what's history and what's legend. And this is the tomb of Agamemnon, where he was buried after being killed by his wife Clytemnestra. I honestly don't remember the details, but if memory serves, they were both not exactly faultless or innocent. It was an interesting place, but we were there without a guide, and it really drove home the advantages of having someone there to explain things. I was struggling to remember timelines and was honestly proud of myself for remembering Clytemnestra's name. This is another Asclepion. And then we went to Nafplio before returning to Athens and getting ready to start the cruise. I really enjoyed Greece. There were just so many different things to enjoy. Everyone thinks of the idyllic islands, but the history is just epic, literally. And it's on display everywhere you look. Far more interesting and varied than just marble statues. Then you have the food. It's genuinely delicious. And pretty healthy too. And the weather was just perfect. I've done a video about Santorini and Mykonos, and now one about mainland Greece. I'll do one more short video about the other Greek islands we went to, then I'll move on to Croatia and Egypt.